you remember when you were a kid and you were playing with your mates in school, or drawing a picture in crayon, or perhaps you were halfway up a tree when you thought, you know, I want to hear more about gender? No? Me neither. I bet you just wanted to run around and be a child, yeah? Me too. Unlucky for the kids nowadays, eh?
This episode of Pop and Olly looks at the concept of gender.
Or more accurately, the lies people tell themselves.
Whilst all our videos are family friendly, this video may be understood best by those who are ready to explore ideas of gender in greater detail.
Well, that's better than queer kid stuff, I'll give you that. And I do love a disclaimer, though I think a better one would be something along the lines of, everything in this video is fictional and should not be taken seriously.
Also, for ease, this video uses words such as masculine and feminine for guides on a scale.
For ease. That bit's so no two-spirit non-binary snowflakes get triggered, because we all know they break down and cry in the face of words.
However, we are aware that even the concept of what is masculine and feminine can be debated.
Yeah, anything can be debated. Some idiots will profess the world is flat. Doesn't mean it is, though. And yes, I just compared the people who think there are multiple genders to those who think we live on a flat earth. I mean, they all ignore science, don't they?
Perhaps that can be a whole other video. And remember...
Oi! That's my line, Ollie! Now you owe me 10 quid!
This video is just one idea about gender. There are many others out there to explore too.
So, in other words, you're talking out of your ass! Got it! Let's have a video!
Gender is a really interesting topic. I mean, what is gender anyway?
It's your sex! And before anyone goes, meh, they're different things. No, they're not. If we go over to Google Dictionary and have a goosey gander, oh look! Gender is a synonym of sex. And a synonym is a word or phrase that means exactly or nearly the same as another word or phrase in the same language. Gotta love dictionaries, eh? So oppressive.
Is it something we are born with? Is it something we can choose?
It's not something you're born with, Ollie, it's something you're born as. And what the fuck is a poorer gender? Google Dictionary says nothing. It's not a word. And while we're there, neither is demigender, polygender, bigender is, weirdly. So is gender fluid, though it defines it as a person rather than an actual thing, so I'm guessing the synonym of that would be deluded. Gender neutral is too, but referring to things suitable for both males and females, and gender queer is also in there. But again, referring to a person who thinks they don't have a gender rather than an actual state of being, so well done. Your fuckery is now so prolific it's made its way into popular culture, but that doesn't mean it's an actual thing. I mean, girl power's in there, thanks to the pissing Spice Girls, but I think we can all agree there's no such thing.
Or is it something that we just know that we are? You might have a lot of questions, which is great. It's always good to educate yourself.
Yeah, educate yourself. And there's Ollie with his degree in gender studies. That's gonna open a lot of doors for you, mate. Unfortunately, they're all to the walk-in fridge in McDonald's.
But just so you know, when it comes to gender, because we are all so different and unique, there is not a set answer that applies to everyone. No one-size-fits-all kind of thing.
Well, there is, but then people started having discussions like, what does gender mean to you? Like Hart, user of the Asexual Visibility and Education Network, who is romantically attracted to anyone awesome and who identifies as a moving target. And Hart got many replies from the likes of Notte Stellata, who identifies as a meaningless concept, and the Howard, whose gender is Iron Man. None of this was a thing 10 years ago, was it? Honestly, I blame the internet.
However, because we are humans, most of us.
Whoa! Ollie throwing some shade at Pop there. Sinister name for a balloon though, isn't it? That would be like calling a person death or cancer, which is a synonym of Lindsay Amer. Ho-ho! We're learning today, guys.
And we do like to try and understand things like gender a little better. There is something really cool which can help us to do just that.
Oh, awesome! I wonder what it could be. How about a brand new thing called science?
So meet the gender unicorn.
Oh, fucking hell. Funny how they'd pick a non-existent creature to explain a non-existent concept, isn't it? Perhaps a little wink to reality, right there.
The original gender unicorn was actually designed by Landon Pan.
Landon Pan? That's not a name, that's a cooking pot from the capital of England. It's a Landon Pan.
For TSER, Trans Student Educational Resources.
So this went out to schools? Jeez, whatever happened to learning mathematics, you know? Maybe a foreign language and how mitochondria are the powerhouse of the cell. This generation's doomed, man. I can see the nervous breakdowns that'll occur because a job application asks for their gender. Like, but there are only 2 boxes.
and you can check it out at transstudent.org/gender.
Yeah, no, I probably won't. I already have enough bullshit going on right now without having to take pseudo-scientific advice from a fucking unicorn.
The gender unicorn suggests that our gender and attractions are actually made up of multiple factors.
Gender, not so much, outside of the 5 factors that determine it in the way of chromosomes, gonads, hormones, internal reproductive anatomy, and external genitalia. But attraction? Sure. I mean, for me, it's all about the tits to ass ratio, the correlation between pretty and crazy, and the probability of oral and anal sex. Now, that's why you learn maths, kids.
So let's use our animated version to explore this further, starting with gender identity. Gender identity.
I like how the unicorn, upon hearing the words gender identity, immediately thinks gay.
So gender identity is someone's internal sense of being male, female, neither of these, both, or another gender or genders.
And some people feel like they're a cat, Ollie. That doesn't mean they are a cat, does it?
Gender identity is basically what you just know that you truly are, because you can just feel it.
So, after a long time of telling the world gender's just a social construct, you're gonna base it on a feeling. And not just that, but a feeling based on the aforementioned social construct. How can you feel like a boy if being a boy is simply being told you're a boy? How can you feel like a girl when, according to your own laws, there's no difference? And if there are multiple genders, explain the gender wage gap.
For me, Ollie that is, my gender identity is male.
Really? That's not very fashionable.
Mostly.
Ah, there we go.
Everyone has a gender identity, including you.
Fuck off, you don't know me. I don't subscribe to this bullshit any more than I subscribe to Logan Paul. Everyone has a gender, sure, but it's one of 2. Gender identity is something reserved for those who were so used to getting participation awards growing up that they couldn't handle the wider world once they left school, so they had to come up with a way of convincing themselves they're as special as their parents said they were. I don't have that problem. I know I'm shit.
Gender expression or presentation. This is the physical manifestation, tricky word,
Yeah, part of the word's man.
of one's gender identity through clothing, hairstyle, voice, body shape, etc.
First off, it's et-cetera, you mongoloid, not ek, it's literally on the screen. Secondly, clothing and hair are nothing more than fashion choices and have nothing to do with gender. Yeah, you get cross-dressers, but they're still just men in tights. You can change your voice, but not very convincingly. Just check out Riley Dennis's latest videos on that one. And changing your body shape is known as losing or putting on weight. Last I checked, fat isn't a gender, nor does it represent male, female, or anything in between.
This is basically how you present yourself to the world, or how you want the world to see you.
Well, if you dress like that, the world is more likely to see you as mentally fucking disabled.
Based on the gender unicorn,
That's not a sentence that should be spoken by an adult, is it?
I guess my gender expression is kinda but not totally masculine, a bit gender neutral, and sometimes feminine too.
Masculine and feminine, I can understand. You get feminine men and you get masculine women, but how the fuck can you have all 3? Especially gender neutral. Do you even know what neutral means, Ollie?
But when it comes to your gender expression, we suggest you don't even worry whether it's feminine, masculine or gender neutral.
Or all 3, apparently.
Just you do you.
Yeah, that's sound advice. Actually, not got a problem with that. I have a problem with you teaching kids this feelings over facts bullshit. I mean, let them grow up before you give them the choice as to whether they want to be a fucking idiot.
Sex assigned at birth.
Oh, for fuck's sake, no matter how hard I run, I just can't get away from this pissing phrase. It's not assigned, you asshole.
This is the assignment and classification of people as male, female, intersex, or another sex.
3 of those are real. Intersex is extremely rare and closer to a birth defect than a brand new fucking gender.
Based on a combination of anatomy, hormones, and chromosomes.
Oh, fuck these fucking gaps, Ollie. Your 7-minute video could have been done in 3 if you didn't have more chromosomes than the average man.
When we are born, it is very likely that a doctor or nurse will assign us a gender based on these factors.
Assigned! Again! You don't get assigned a gender! You have it from the moment you're conceived, you prick! Women can only pass on the X chromosome. It's the dude's sperm that carries the other. Ergo, your gender is determined from the moment he pisses his love gravy in her. It's not assigned!
My sex assigned at birth was male.
Oh, so you were some genderless monstrosity while you were in the womb, were you? It was only when coming through the birth canal that you grabbed a cock and balls and stuck them on your head, apparently.
For transgender people, their sex assigned at birth and their own internal sense of gender identity are not the same.
This is called body dysphoria, and it's a mental illness which is very often unsuccessfully alleviated by gender reassignment surgery, and isn't something you should aspire to like half the twats on YouTube who seem to think it's the next stage of human evolution.
And so they may use their gender expression to help them feel more aligned. Although this is not the case for everyone.
No, you're right. Some dress as the opposite sex to calm their dysphoria, and some people do it to be fashionable. These are called trans trenders, and they're basically mocking a mental illness so they can get more likes on Tumblr.
And sometimes, doctors will assign a gender that fits best with what they can see or tell about a person.
Oh yeah, because they're all just making it up as they go along, aren't they?
But occasionally, a person might be intersex, which means these supposed simple ways of classifying a person is not always easy or accurate.
True, but it's extremely rare, and it's the only time sex is actually assigned, because you have to give them a chance, don't you? Some will choose to swap over when they're older, but most continue living as the sex they were raised.
But this is a topic we'll explore in greater detail in another video.
Please don't. I never understood why the LGBT army is so keen to take hermaphrodites under their banner. I mean, it's not a sexuality, is it? Must be a numbers thing.
Physically attracted to.
Well, that's sexuality and not gender, so I think we can leave it there. Either that or we can all hear about scissoring. No, let's leave it there. We don't need any more evidence that the people who say sex is assigned and gender is fluid are invariably homosexual. Because that's true, isn't it? How many straight people do you know who say they're non-binary? None, I bet. And anyway, fuck knows how you can be homosexual and non-binary, because that would mean you're only attracted to other non-binaries, wouldn't it? And if gender is a feeling, how could you tell what they are? So either homosexuality isn't real, or the gender unicorn is completely imaginary. Thanks for watching, guys. Please consider becoming a patron so I can hunt down this fucking unicorn with a spear. And check me out on BitChute where your gender doesn't matter. The links are in the description, and remember, in the wise words of Professor Oak, are you a boy or are you a girl?